what you're supposed to do. That's how it's supposed to work. Like, don't do it. Don't like play like you don't know how it goes.
This is how it goes. How's everybody doing this evening?
Excellent. All right, how's it going?
I'm doing well. Today was a good day, so I'm doing awesome. I'm doing amazing. I hope everybody else had a good week because it's Friday. So y'all had a good.
It's been a week.
Excellent.
It's been a week.
I'm not 10 toes up, so it's all right.
That's right.
Joy said it's been a week. I feel you on that though, because it's kind of been like that for me. So I kind of like understand. Like, I don't know what your week has been like, but I know mine has been like.
It's been an experience. I'm just like I'm glad the weekend is here. I'm just gonna chill and be still because this week has been something else. I'll put it that way.
Mm-hmm. All right. Well, we'll go with that. We'll go with the it's been a week. I'm not gonna lie, it has absolutely been a week for me. As y'all know, I've had some kind of like health issues and stuff. So trying to kind of figure out those things. Thank you so much, sir. Appreciate you. I've been, having some stuff of my own. So it has absolutely been a week, but I do agree with Ralph or Ray. Tonight we're Ralph, but I'm 10 toes up. I'm 10 toes up, so I can't complain. And I'm not gonna complain because I could be elsewhere, but I'm not. So tonight was supposed to be actually the guys' night. It was supposed to actually be the gentlemen having their night because last week was supposed to be the women. It was all supposed to sit and talk and discuss our views, our opinions, our thoughts on just being ladies and dating in 2022. Because I'm not gonna lie, 2022 to me is like shit at this point. But we're gonna ignore that point. And so it was supposed to be the men, but I wasn't able to jump on last week. So tonight we're gonna go ahead and we're gonna do some things different. I'm waiting to see if I don't know, he might not have gotten the link and I might not be able to get him on tonight. But one of my other, because where does my brain live?
TikTok.
Brain lives on TikTok. That's where I stay. That's where I live. So one of my other TikTok buddies had sent me a couple of videos this week, which sparked conversation with me and other people this week, which I'm not gonna lie, some of the conversation, when I tell you, y'all know about me and my lean in. Y'all know about me and my lean in, right? It's only two types of lean ins. When I tell you, it was absolutely not the good lean in. It was the bad lean in. Like it was the bad lean in. We had a couple of different conversations. I really wanted him to be able to pop on tonight, but I'm not sure he's going to be able to. I might have to take my phone off of Do Not Disturb because I think he might need the code because I know you guys had an issue with the code. So I might have to resend it to him. But let's get into the first topic. He sent me a video and I didn't actually add any clips this week. Normally I do, but I was just like, I'm tired. Is it okay to fight a woman?
Lord.
So I was sent a video where there was this woman in New York who, from what I understand from the clips that I've seen, the things that I've seen, there was a woman who had a situation where she was out and I guess about or whatnot. And a man punched her in the face.
Right.
So the video that I first saw was that she's like fussing about this gentleman, hitting her in the face, and then it's a stitch. So this lady comes in behind it and it's like, you saw that this man was aggressive. This man was aggressive. He was hostile. You saw it. And then you still taunted this man. You still taunted him. Like you saw he was like ready to charge. Like he was a bull that saw red and you still was like waving the flag. You was waving the red carpet or whatever. So she was crying, getting sympathy, talking about how this man like hit her in the face or whatever. And please believe me, I'm not an advocate for men hitting women. That's not what I'm saying. That's not where I'm going in any in any shape, form, or fashion. Comes out later. First of all, if you see, and she was saying, you know, you see this man is agitated. You see he's highly already ready to go. And you kept taunting him. So then he hit you in the face. You should have walked away. Another video comes out where it comes to find out that I guess she was taunting him or whatnot. He hits her in the face and then they get into a full-blown fight. Like she's like, I'm gonna go back. Like she takes a stance and she fights this man back. So I'm not gonna lie. Fun fact, I've seen some women who have taunted men, and I'm not gonna lie. Listen, I'm not going to lie. I've seen some chicks that like taunt men and poke the bear, and I feel bad for men sometimes because I feel like, yo, if I was a dude, I would struggle not to hit you in the face. I'm not gonna lie. I would struggle not to hit you in the face. Cause like when you're taunting me, that's the issue. Like, you know that you're doing it. And I think what happens is a lot of times as women, not all women, but some women, I think they do it because they know it's like, you're not supposed to hit me because I'm a woman. Mm-hmm. But I'm never an advocate for physical force. So I had a conversation with somebody this week. I was talking to them on Messenger. It was a gentleman. I was talking on Messenger and I was doing something. They're like, what are you doing? I was like, oh, I'm responding to some stuff. We go into this conversation about men hitting women and whatnot. And his response to me is that, well, that's what did he say? Not equal opportunity, equal rights. That's what he called it. He called it equal rights. He said it was equal rights. And I said, what? He said, that's equal rights. I said, how is that equal rights? He says, well, like, that's what society would say. Society would say that it's equal rights. And I was like, how is fighting a woman? You're a grown man and you're fighting a woman like she's a dude. That's equal rights. He was like, well, that's what women want, right? They want for it to be equal, this, that, and the other. I said, okay, let's say you're 230 and I'm 150. If you're 230 and I'm 150, if I come and punch you in the face and I'm like poking the bear, I'm wrong. I'm wrong on all aspects. I can say that. I'm okay with that.
Right.
But you're telling me that it's okay to like fight me like a grown man? Well, I'm just saying that's equal rights. You know, that's your morality. That's your morale. Like, you're just looking at it from a morale standpoint. No, I'm looking at it as, this is not equal. You're 230, I'm 150. No, that's morale. Listen, do you know, like in boxing, they have weight classes? In boxing, they flipping have weight classes. So, like, you literally, like, there's lightweight, like, you can't sit up here and say, like, you're going to put a heavyweight with a lightweight because it doesn't match. Oh. And he literally was just like, nah, this is this. And I was like, wait a minute, hold up. You said that's not your stance. Didn't you tell me you would fight a chick? He was like, well, I actually have. Wait, what? He tells me that he fought a woman because he fought the brother. And as he was fighting the brother, the woman came and kicked him in the face, knocked him out, put him down. And I was like, she was wrong. Absolutely. I'm 1000% with you. She was wrong. And I'm not going to lie. As a dude, I would probably want to knock her block off too. He told me I wasn't about to take that L. Wait, you fought her because you weren't going to take the L? Because your pride said that you like, yo, like, I'm not about to let that go down like that. Like, yo, she kicked me in the face. Like, I'm not. So he felt it was absolutely okay to fight this lady like she was a grown man. We went back and forth a couple of times about it. And I was like, I can't. I get off my fucking phone. Like, I can't. Like, he got off the phone and I was like, I'm good. I'm fucking good. Like, you thought it was okay. Like, I understand because again, like I said, I'm not gonna lie. As I've seen some stuff, I've literally witnessed some stuff where I've seen women put their hands on men, where they have really taunted men. But I feel like I literally asked him, "You would fight her like a grown man as opposed to subduing her?" And he literally was like, "Nah, I'm a fighter." Okay. So I wanted to really bring this topic to the table, and I'm really open for all opinions, all views, because I'm not gonna lie. Like, as any person, when you're taunting someone continuously, that's hard to be like, yo, listen, I'm just gonna like, you know what, let me go call the cops, let me just leave you alone. But like, I just feel like I get women want equal opportunity. I get that women want to, you know, be seen a certain way or whatever. But I never feel like, unless you're a bodybuilder and you really, really that tough, it's not going to be equal. It's not going to be fair.
It never will be.
I think my thing with it is this: when the talking point is touted out that, you know, y'all women want equal rights, y'all want equal opportunities, it's like, no offense, but most of us don't want to be men, right? Like, I'm living in my skin and I'm good. What I want is, if I've been working in the same arena that you've been working in, and I have the same amount of experience and I do as well, if not better, for my paycheck not to be lessened because I have breast as opposed to a dick. That's not the same as a grown-up man trying to square up with me. Now, as far as that's concerned, one of the things I tell my son, if you need to defend yourself from a woman physically, then you do that. Because you don't know what someone might be carrying. Somebody might come at you with a slap. We know how these nails are, and they might do a lot of damage. That's something different if someone approaches you in that way. He says, well, you know, what if they're talking a lot? Because we'd have these conversations, especially as you was growing up in Eastern High School. And I'm like, you tell them as loud as you can, I'm not about to fight a woman. Because it does two things, right? It does two things. One, it quantifies why this not gonna happen. Why everybody's looking around you like, oh, you a bitch, you gonna let her talk to you like that? I'm not putting my hands on a girl. I'm not putting my hands on a woman. And for her, you might get the ones up there like, you square up, you do what you gotta do. You put her in a position where she assaults you first, then you take care of things. You defend yourself and you remove yourself. So as far as that situation with the young lady, I believe, was it in New York? I believe it was in New York.
I believe so.
From what I understand, she was in the military at one point in time. She's like 6'2". Now, I say that only as far as size is concerned and how some people might feel. But what I also understand, this man followed her for a period of time, cut in front of her and started walking slower so that she kind of like walked on the back of his ankles or heels or something along those lines, and then has something to say. Now, any man or woman that can't take some words, remove yourself from the situation. You a bitch made. If her saying you in your feminine energy because you are in your emotions bothers you, I mean, it didn't stop there. Like, he looks at another man basically like, is she with you? Basically, I'm not going to deal with her. If she's with you, I'm not going to do, and then did what he did. He didn't square up and then punch her in the face and give her a chance to defend herself. He just did it like he did it. So could she have not said something? Yes, but I will never put the onus of somebody else's behavior on someone else. I'm not responsible for the way you fucking feel, the way you fucking think, none of that. I'm responsible for how I interact with you or how I carry myself. So it annoys the living fuck out of me, especially when there's older men or women who are just like, well, you know, if you had closed your mouth and shut the fuck up. And apparently he was following her and acting this way when she was not engaging with him. She had walked away from him. Now what? So my thing is like, you got to, you know what? All these think pieces, you know, if she'd only done this, if she'd only done that, I don't care. Because ultimately he is a man that should have had some goddamn self-control about himself. I don't know what it was about this woman that bothered him. Maybe because she was taller and he ain't never been tall in his life. Maybe he's tiny dicked and know that he couldn't handle it. I don't know. I have no idea what was going on. I don't know if he hadn't had his milk and his beverage. He needed some Robitussin. I don't know what the fuck was wrong with him. All I know is that's not her responsibility at all. And if she said something to say that was a little saucy of the mouth, and either you take it or leave it the fuck alone. Be bitch made by yourself somewhere else. The fuck you saying? And it's not even a matter of the fact that she's a woman. You fight a woman for defense. If you need to defend yourself, because we know we got some women out here that can ball some men up and then chuck them somewhere. Physically defend yourself if you need to. If you don't want to deal with worse, and just use that right there. I'll give it to you all. I'm not about to fight a woman. We're not about to do this. I'm not about to have my blood pressure go up. Whatever you need to do to diffuse that. She put her hands on you, then you fight her like you need to get her the fuck off. Some people are talking about restraint. Fight her to get her off of you. But this sort of shit where somebody's like, oh, she had too much mouth. That just tells me that you just too much of a weak motherfucker. What the fuck? That's weird. That's just my opinion.
Gentlemen.
Everyone, go ahead.
No, go ahead.
I believe everyone has the inherent right to defend themselves. That being said, if a person is being assaulted, yeah, they're supposed to take care of the threat, walk away, so they can get away. The part about someone's ego being bruised, some words and things like that, that doesn't necessarily initiate, a physical action. Joy is right about, somebody say something that's off brand. I mean, you can either square up on a person because they said something you didn't like, or you could walk away from the situation. I'm not a proponent for someone fighting a woman just for the sake of fighting a woman. There got to be some serious threat to bodily harm to myself for me to put that type of energy out. That is, being taught from a young man not to put my hands on a woman or to fight a girl. But then on the opposite end, there's always been them situations where a woman will test a man by putting their hands on him. The physical restraint or whatever that is, a man got to think in the back of his mind. When people are called, and as soon as she say he put his hands on me, this is what's going down. So there's a whole lot of scenarios going on, and if you're quick to anger, quick to action, things are going to go way left. I do not approve of it, but if a person has to restrain someone physically, and if it gets to the point to where they gotta, throw hands, I don't care who's in front of you. But the thing is, that if you use a certain type of force, you're gonna reap what those repercussions are. Okay, if you do some damage to someone in the altercation, they're not gonna look at, this was an assault. They're gonna look at it was a man fighting a woman. He broke her jawbone. Now what? He's gonna see the inside of a jail for that. He's gonna be paying medical bills. He's gonna have extra issues down the line, and so you got to have that second and third order effect type of thinking when you get into something. So no, I don't approve of a man fighting a woman. I don't approve of any type of that type of violence. But you got to see your way out of that situation. Whether you restrain them, walk away, do whatever you got to do, as long as it's not a threat or a death or whatever the case may be. If you can get out of that situation, get out of it. That's all I got.
Mr.
Right. I think there are three things that need to be addressed here. Number one, everybody should keep their hands to themselves, men and women, full stop. The first scenario about the video from New York, I didn't see what led up to it. I just saw the man knocking the woman down or whatever, or knocking her out. I'm not sure. I've seen one, and I don't know if we're talking about the same thing. But in that instance, a man initiating contact on a woman, that's a no-go, in my opinion. People can talk till their mouth fall off as far as I'm concerned. And I would do everything within my power to defuse a situation like that. I would never swing first. However, if it was a heated altercation and that person came at me and I was defending myself, you know, it just depends. They would have to hit me first, physically, like flush hit me. If I can defend and deflect and all of that stuff, then great. I'm not going to swing. Now, I want to address the second scenario where you said you were talking to the guy, and he said he fought the woman because she kicked him in the face. I don't care who it is on this earth. If I'm in a fight and somebody kicks me in my face, all bets are off. I don't care if it's a man, woman, it could be a 2-year-old baby. I'm fighting them.
2-year-old baby? No! Sheesh.
Kicking me in my face.
2-year-old baby gets it too?
He said, fuck them kids.
You cross the boundary, there ain't no coming back. Yeah, so I believe, according to what that man said, if I was in a fight, whatever, and I'm fighting whoever I'm fighting, and I'm on the ground or whatever, and you got to jump on me to kick me in my face, if you standing there like, I'm whooping your ass. I'm sorry. There ain't no way around that. So, like everybody else, there's sticks and stone may break my bones, but words will never harm me. I'm cool with all that, but yeah, that kick in the face, it moved me a different way, and yeah, I don't know what can stop it. Jesus will have to come back to get me to stop off that. I'm
gonna need you not to be kicking 2-year-old babies. I'm gonna need you not to be kicking 2-year-old babies in the face, sir.
Hey, some 2-year-old babies can really kick.
No, sir. No, that's
especially if they have the walking shoes on.
Right, exactly. Them shoes hurt.
What you said? I thought you said it was 3 points. Did you not say it was 3 points?
Oh, I was the first point was don't put everybody keep their hands to themselves. That's the first point. And then I addressed the video, and then I addressed the man talking about the woman kicking him in the face.
Okay. I hear all of the points. I get it. I just, again, and I have said, for years, I have said, I don't know how men do it. I don't know how men do it because I have literally seen a woman taunt a man, slap him, like call his mama a bitch, talk about his daughter, hit him in the face, all kinds of stuff. Like I have seen some stuff where I was like, sir, you are a better man than me. You are a better man than me. I'm not a man. Not technically, my last name is man, but like you are a better man than me because I'm not gonna lie. Like I would be ready to be like,
I mean, he would have been justified. Now I don't know what the laws are in each individual state, but it seems as if, from what I've seen from the few states that I've lived in, that there is more of equal footing as far as charging of domestic violence is concerned. Like it's not like it used to be so cut and dried. It's still bad, I think, but it's not as cut and dry as far as wildly disbelieving the man saying, excuse me, she the one that did this. And as soon as that lady in that situation, or one of the situations you were speaking about, put her hands on him, he had a cause for self-defense. He had a right to defend his own person and autonomy against that. Because that shit ain't cool. And
it's not,
you know, I absolutely agree. Don't put your hands on people. Don't do that. And don't make the assumption. Yeah, for some of these women, don't make the assumption that you're gonna get a hold of somebody that respects the fact that you might be smarter than them.
That's the thing, and I think what I think it really sucks is that I feel like it's become a new norm, though, for men to put their hands on women because women have gotten. I don't want to say that women have gotten mouthy or whatever, but I think it's like it's become kind of the like, oh well.
It's still weak, and I mean would apply like when I was fighting when I was younger. Like if you can, you know how it is within the culture of Black people. Like if you can't drag somebody, if you can't read somebody, if you ain't got something to say, then you look weak if you're the first one that throws a punch over some words. Even if the words are caustic as hell, please don't misunderstand. There was one time where a gentleman said something, and in my opinion, I was like, maybe he needs to let other men know this. Because, you know, like you said, people can get mouthy in a word. And in this particular case, I think it was his younger sibling, right? And she was saying some stuff, you know, when you sitting there like, this is horrible. I mean, I'm not going to stop listening, but this is horrible, right? Like, I'm not going to stop minding your business, but goddamn. And he was like, don't worry about it. I'll get you later. I ain't gonna put my hands on you, but I'm about to ruin your shit. And when you say petty, that's his brother sitting there like, I don't know what he did. All I know is she ain't had shit. It's been a decade later. She still ain't said shit. I'm like, he damn near made her mute whatever the fuck he said. He just said, I'll get you later. I'll deal with you. You got words. I got words too. It's okay. It's all right. Like I said, I don't know. But it was bad. And I sat there and listened to the thing. Mm-hmm.
I never think it's okay to do it, but I do feel bad for men that are taunted and put out there. And I think that I think that there is this stigma that women think sometimes that, you're not supposed to put your hands on a woman. So, or they've been taught and raised that it's okay to fight a man. So then that's the whole thing. You know how it is. Everybody is pretty much a walking, microcosm unto themselves. The worlds collide every time we interact with other person. Right. And I was taught, don't put your hands on, defend yourself. Don't ever be the one to initiate it, but be the one to finish it if you can. That's just how I was taught, whether it be man, woman. I'm not gonna say child, bro. We're not gonna be like fuck them kids. We're not gonna do that. But because I got kids in my family where I be like, look at here, go on over there, and they can go over there and deal with it. Like 2 10-year-olds, y'all go ahead and duke it out. I'm not about, even though I might want to, like, to push your little face, watch you fly someplace. That'd be fun. But that's okay. We just got relatives. Like, he was dead. That's like fuck them kids, bruh.
But yeah, everybody.
That little 2-year-old don't learn a valuable lesson.
Everybody got boundaries, and I'm sure they can be pushed one way or the other. Like y'all saying, the talking and the rah-rah back and forth. Yeah, whatever. Go on with that bullshit. But that kick in the face to me, once you cross that boundary.
She did.
There ain't no way back.
She really did. If nothing else, she crossed the boundary on 2-on-1. I mean, come on now.
I don't fault any person.
Y'all can say that, but I'm not gonna lie.
Man, woman, boy, girl, whatever. I don't fault anybody for that.
I still feel like there was the ability to, like, you come back from it and get yourself up, because he did say that she whooped his ass. In the end, she whooped his ass. So if she whooped your ass, you had time to get up and go call the cops.
Well, that's his fault, though.
Wait a minute, hold on. Wait a minute. I just want to get clarification. Just real quick, so clarification.
I don't know
He was fighting the brother, and then the sister came in and kicked him in the face, right? Is that what's happened? And then he woke up and then got up and fought her?
Yes.
And then she kicked his ass?
That's different.
Look, I'm sorry. Okay, this is goddamn. Like, he just double homicide.
That's what I said. Like, you had time to be like, let me go call the cops.
Premeditated.
Let me remove myself. You had plenty of time to do this.
For her, for just rules of engagement and that sort of bullshit. If these are 2 men that are fighting, don't come in there and do that, because if nothing else, you make your brother look weak. Yeah, you make your brother look weak. If for nothing else, if you don't feel bad about anything else, you make your brother look weak, that he needed your help, right?
She absolutely
She should have. That was between the 2 of them. Unless he pulled out a weapon of some sort and then made the fight uneven of some sort. She shouldn't have jumped in, and for no other reason. Your brother looked weak as hell that his sister is here. But the second part of it is, you decided you're going to get up and fight her because of what she did and still lost again? He was very comfortable with you to admit this, because I don't know anybody that would admit this aloud. Like, I wouldn't tell this story. I wouldn't tell this story at all. No, like, I mean, you got up and then she whooped your ass by herself. Bro, you shouldn't have been fighting her brother. It sounds like, oh no.
Shouldn't have been fighting nobody.
He really shouldn't. He should have stayed in that car and rolled up that window like, I don't fight. I got to go to work on Monday. I ain't fighting. I ain't get my face messed up.
Rolled up the window too?
Rolled up the window, but talking shit behind the that's it. But talking shit behind the window. I would beat your ass, but I got to go to work Monday. I can't go in there messing up my pretty face. I ain't gonna do shit. You gonna understand? He should have done something aside what he did, because bruh. I don't even know you and I'm laughing at you. I hope I never know your name, because I'm gonna laugh in your face. That's so funny.
I would never say his name. I would just let it be.
How do you get up from being knocked the fuck out only to get your ass beaten again? But bruh, no.
Listen, he did. But we gotta move forward. If we've all kind of like, we're good with this, like where we all stand, everybody's kind of got their view, their opinion and whatnot of it. I think it's really like it comes down to judgment, as you guys said. You know, it's like, and I'm not gonna agree with whooping no 2-year-old's ass. I'm not gonna agree with that.
Look, some of them little motherfuckers are chunky ass, okay? All I'm saying, like, you ain't gotta whoop him down, you just push him over. Just push him over.
Listen, that part. Subdue. I don't have to whoop his ass. I just gotta like subdue him. Sir, you too, and you thought you could kick him off?
If your grandson with his hard bottom shoe kick you in the face, you're gonna want to whoop his ass.
I'm gonna want to, but I'm not going to, is the point. That's the whole point, is that you don't do it. That's the whole point. So we're gonna move on to the second topic. Second topic, I was having, as I always do, conversations. That's where I get most of my ideas and thoughts and views from, is from sitting down talking to people, because y'all know that's what I do, right? Whether it's on TikTok, whether it's anywhere, I'm always having some conversations with somebody. Somewhere I'm having a conversation. So I was talking to someone, and I thought we were going to be doing ladies' night this evening, as I said. But it turned out that was not what we were doing. And so they were like, you should do when people check out of a relationship. They specifically spoke to a male aspect of it. Okay. But I was like, you know me. I don't like to generalize. I think all people check out of relationships at some point in time, to some degree, depending on the relationship. So I was like, you know me. I'm not just going to do when women check out of relationship on men. We're not doing that. We're not doing that. We don't do that here. We don't do that kind of thing here. So I'm going to talk about when people check out a relationship. And I don't even want to start off. I would prefer to let y'all go ahead and start, and then I'll come in on the tail end if we could. So I don't know. We want to go with Joy first. We want to go with Ray or Ralph at the bottom first, and then go clockwise.
It's the Ray Ralph for me. It's the Ray Ralph. I personally want to hear the perspective of the men first.
All right,
honestly.
So we're gonna go Ray Ralph. We're gonna go Mr. Ace of Hearts. We're gonna go Joy, and then we're gonna go me. We're gonna go counterclockwise with the Ray Ralph right now. Let's go. Let me see what you got.
Ray Ralph. The way I look at it is, for someone to, especially a man, to check out of something, there is like total disrespect, like inside of that relationship, where the one person that you can be vulnerable to as a man, you know, divulge all your feelings to, and they weaponize it and turn it back on you. Any weaknesses that you would ever talk to them about, flaws, weaknesses, fears, things of that nature, and turn it back on you, that is kind of like that's a point of no return. It's like, I lowered my defenses. I gave you the ultimate trust. And then for you to make me feel like less of a person, that manner, that's a trust that I couldn't ultimately give to someone else, and then that you violated, that would make me check out. Period. Like, anything that you're saying, it's just, I don't hear anything.
Right.
So
you don't look at her the same. You don't trust her.
Nothing. Because that is an ultimate violation. I'm not talking about infidelity. I'm not talking about any of the obvious stuff that would make a person just pull back. But when you share with someone, and then when they turn it back on you, like when you confide in someone and then you hear that same information back, and it wasn't for that purpose, it wasn't for you to get feedback from it, I was confiding in you, or whatever the case may be. And then it's in a argumentative tone or a one-up type thing. You're just doing it to stir the pot and just get some type of reaction.
Excuse me. I'm sorry, my allergies, y'all. I apologize.
God bless you. Yeah. I might be there in flesh, but I'm gone. I done flew already. I'm down the road. I done moved. I got a whole nother zip code in here. That's all I got.
Okay. Wow.
My last marriage, we're about 2.5 years in, and we went on a cruise and everything. Had a good time on the cruise, but in my mind and the way things were shaping up, I felt like we were wasting each other's time. And so I addressed it with my ex, and I was like, "What are we doing? We're not happy. You're not happy. I know I'm not happy. We're wasting each other's time." And she was like, "Oh, don't worry about it. We can work through it and get better." And then that answer, what I heard was, yeah, ain't nothing going on. What you're feeling, she wasn't validating what I was feeling, which is fine. I'm cool. I don't really operate on emotion like that. But I knew in my heart of hearts that that there was no love. There was no more love there, right? And she felt like everything would be okay, and she felt like she was doing well. But at that point, I had already started checking out, and then we probably went about another 6 months, and then everything kind of blew up, and the relationship was over for me. And then it's a situation that I hear women describe all the time. Like when women say they get fed up and then they say they're leaving and the man comes, baby, please, I'll do this, I'll do that, or whatever. And she kind of came like that. Hey, just tell me what I need to do. In my opinion, the fact that you didn't know that, our situation and our circumstances had went away, it went south. In my opinion, tells me everything I need to know. So I had started checking out. We, separated bedrooms and everything. And at that point, we had became roommates. And so by that time, I was like, look, I'm going to bounce, or you're going to bounce, but we need to sever these ties or whatever. And then she was emotional and all of those things. But in my opinion, I had given you fair warning and told you almost a year prior to all of that, and you just chose not to, pay attention to the warning signs. So, I think it's very possible for men and women to be in a relationship, and then, especially if you're just going through the mundane day-to-day, garden variety stuff or whatever. But yeah, I'm not one to stay in situations like that.
Got it. Miss Joy?
I think that people perhaps do it more often than is actually noticed. I think that a lot of people just toe the line and decide on the level of relationship that they're going to be involved in. It's kind of like, when you hear, relationships change over time, and it's true. And it's kind of like bundled into that, they're like, we're more friends than anything else. And a lot of times I'm wondering if it's a matter of, proximity to one another after a period of time, or if it's just a matter of just letting go of certain aspects for the sake of, the children, the business, the life you built, or whatever. I know personally that I checked out a relationship where a person had been unfaithful, but before he had gotten to that particular point, I was checked out. I was exhausted. I'll put it that way. So I have one son. That's more than enough. Happens to be a Leo. That's more than enough. Okay. So I have one son. And he, at that time, had 2 children. He had 2 daughters by 2 different women. But they all worked things out through dealing with grown folk. But their significant others than them had other children. So during the week, I am a parent to my one child. And the weekend, I can be a parent to anywhere from 2 to 5 children in my home. And we were together for 2 years. I was exhausted. He wasn't hearing this illness. And then he, at one point in time, was diagnosed with bipolarism. So that was another aspect of it. And at that particular point in time, it got to a point where I was taking care of him and other duties, and he was kind of like being bundled into a child role. And I don't know any woman, unless she got pedophilic sort of tendencies, is going to sit up there and deal with somebody that they view as a child, or in a childlike manner. So for me, for checking out, I was still going through the motions because my son had formed an attachment to one of the kids, right? And for the most part, everything was cool. Like these weren't bad kids or anything in that regard. You know, it could be loud and a lot. And I go on my shopping trips that take 2 hours when it's right down the street, because that was going to be my therapy. Let me look at these oranges for a little bit longer than I usually do, right? But emotionally, it was that, like, you're not hearing what I'm saying to you, which is I need this buffer here. And you just think that it's all, this is what it'll be like when we get married. And you start to say that, and I'm up there flinching. My eye is twitching like, oh, I'm like, what? I mean, I start to think 25 years of this shit, 30 years, bro, your dick ain't never been good enough for this shit. Oh, no. I'm like, no, baby, when I say it. So I don't know about other people, but like my libido is tied into that sort of fear. When I say it was bone dry, dead and gone, I was not mad he was cheap, because I was like, she can handle it and deal with it. But see, now I got it out. You know what I'm saying? So that's when you know it's dead, when you don't care whatever went elsewhere. And the thing about it is, he's not a bad dude in any way, shape, or form. He phased himself gradually out of my son's and my life. As far as I was fine. But my son didn't look up and see someone who's been a father figure for over a year to him, because he didn't meet my son for more than a year. Like, I don't play those games.
Got it.
So yeah, so it really was, I'd get there and I'd already be I have everything mapped out that I'm about to do. And it got to the point where a lot less of the things that I'd have envisioned included him. I'm like, what's the point? That'd be weird. I'm like, 25 years of this shit? Oh no, that stuff still make me twitch. So I was good. I was gone in that particular regard. So I do get it, especially when the brother was speaking about the lack of trust. Like, how in the world you gonna sit up there and tell who you tell your person this sort of stuff? It stays between y'all, and you trust them with that vulnerability, and you hear your shit in the street. Like, what the fuck? That's some cold shit. That's immature. That's cold. That is somebody that just does. I'm like, are you not reading the room? Like, that is to hold somebody's heart and trust. That's a blessed thing. And I think too many people take that shit for granted. So I don't blame you. But see, I'm with him. I bounced. I'm with Ace of Hearts. I was gone. I got rid of him on my birthday. Best gift ever. Peace of mind. We weren't doing this. That's it. That's it. Yes, ma'am. It was that peace of mind. You know what I'm saying?
Thanks for coming in. When people check out of a relationship, I think there's so many reasons why people check out of a relationship. I think that a lot of times when I think what happens when we jump into a relationship with people is that we get comfortable. We get really, really comfortable, right? Because I got you already, right? Like, I got you. So I don't need to do what I used to do to get you. So it's like you grab this person, right? Like, so like if it's like me, I'm like, hey boo, how you doing? I just called to check on you, see how your day was, made your little play, I got on this cute outfit or whatever, sent your cute little picture, whatever. You know what I'm saying? Like, so like you do all these things, right, to get this person, right? And then the guys are like, hey boo, I got you some flowers, I got you a little bit, I sent you a little money or whatever, cash. Get your nails and your feet did, girl, whatever. So it's like whatever it is that floats your boat or whatever, I don't know. You do all of these things and then y'all get into a relationship and then it's like, oh, I got you. And so it's like you come home, she got on a damn bonnet and she don't get her nails done no damn more. Her feet ain't been done in months. He didn't let his gut go. Like, he just like not just that, but like he don't fix the car no more. He don't ask what you want to eat. It's just like he come home, he got a whole bag of food and didn't ask you if you wanted none or nothing. You know what I'm saying? So it's like after time goes on, oh, venison. Sir, I have to say hello to you. Thank you so very much for joining. I just realized who you were. Thank you for popping in tonight. He's somebody from TikTok who I specifically asked if he would pop in tonight. He said he would. So thank you, sir. Thank you for joining. But I feel as though like that's what happens. We jump into these relationships with people and we're, moving at light speed, to build. And then it's like, all right, what's up, Kenya? How are you? I see you on Facebook. We are moving at the speed of light or whatever. And then now it's like, okay, now we in this relationship and it's like, yeah, I got you. So it is what it is. And people no longer want to do the same things that they used to do anymore. They don't want to cater to, they don't want to do the flowers. They don't want to do the just because. They don't want to do all of those things. Right. So I think that's where a lot of the like checking out happens, is because you did all this stuff to gain me. You did all of this stuff to get me. But then when it really came down to it and you got me, now it was like, oh, I got you. It's good. I love you. I don't got to tell you I love you. I'm thankful. I ain't got to tell you thank you. So I feel like we have to really keep doing those same things we used to do. Now, is that going to keep us from not checking out? Not necessarily. Life happens. We got a lot of stuff that goes on, but I think that helps to it. I think that absolutely helps to it when we're actually, because that's what got you, right? So why you stop? Why you stop? Why you got lazy now? People forget that they're friends when they get into relationships. Morris, I absolutely agree with that. I do think that people do forget the friendship of relationship. And they just move past that as if that's not a situation and that's not something that there is. And I think that people, like y'all said, they value other relationships outside of the relationship more than they do the person that they're with. Because again, people get comfortable. So now you out here telling everybody else your business. You out here, and like Joy said, you find it out in the streets that somebody else know your business that you didn't know that they was out here spreading. So now you all sitting at the barbecue and it's like, yeah, I remember. Yeah, I heard you did this. Wait a minute. You was out here telling people all our business. What the hell? So I feel like it's one of those things where it's like, you really have to like, your relationship is y'all's relationship. I feel like we have to really like make sure that we're taking care of, do what you do before you got into a relationship with that person.
Yeah.
Like really value that person. I think people really underestimate the small things. I think people underestimate the fact that, like, for me, if I have a boo, right? And I'm like, oh, babe, you look nice in that shirt today. I like that. You look real sexy today. Like, oh, I can't wait till you get home today. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know what I mean? Like little stuff like that. Like I make you a lunch and I put a little message on a napkin. Like, when you get home tonight, sir, let me tell you, it's gonna be on. Just so you know, don't play no games. You better be ready. You know what I'm saying? Like, I think people underestimate that, the value of just saying thank you. Babe, I saw you clean the garage. It was a mess. It was, I appreciate that. I didn't have to be like, hey, I didn't have to say, hey, could you do it? This, that, and the other. You just did. And I appreciate that. Thank you so much. I think people miss that those are things that people need. We treat the people that we're in relationship, I think, with a lot of times like we treat everybody else. And I think that's a huge issue, is that we just grow so accustomed to just moving along in day-to-day life that we are not taking the time to value the relationships that we're in with the people that we're in the relationship with. And so it's just like, now they feel regular. Now I feel regular. Now I feel like you treat me like the same chick that you work at your job with, or the dude that you work at your job with, because you're not valuing me. So I feel like when you're checking out and doing things like that, I feel like a lot of times people do have good reason to check out because you're not paying attention no more. You ain't paying attention. I've become the same person that you sit with at the next cubicle with you.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So it's like, why should I feel any better than that? So why should I not? And I was talking to the person I was talking to today. I was like, you have multiple different people. You have some people who just live through it. Right? They don't say nothing. They just keep going. Then you have people who absolutely will say something and be like, hey, listen, I need this, that, and the third. And it's hard when you are that person who you're vocal and you say that, and then it's like, oh yeah, I'm gonna make changes, and then that person stays the same.
Right.
So now hi Valerie, how are you, lady? Thanks for joining in. When you just stay the same, I always say to people, when you tell people what you want and what you need, and I come to you because the type of person I am is I like clarity and I like understanding. If I come to you and I tell you, this is what I need, this is how I'm wired, this is what I want, and I say to you, are we on the same page? You understand? And we go through a conversation of you have clarity. You either didn't understand what I said and then you told me that you did, or you didn't fucking care. And you was like, fuck you, I'm gonna do what I want to do. And that's a sign of disrespect for me.
I think a lot of people do that part. They listen to what you say. They say they understand, but they really don't care. There's a lot of selfishness in relationships. Situations where, and then my thing is, I'm supposed to know the person I'm in relationship with, whether it be marriage or dating or whatever it is. It's my job to know that person. So, like you said, if it's, oh, you did this in the garage today, thank you. Is that what that person? You know what I mean? Is that person doing that to please you, or you're supposed to know the person? And I believe just in regular relationships, people aren't trying to do what makes the other person happy. They're just trying to get out of the relationship what they're trying to get out of the relationship.
Selfishness. That's selfish though.
Yeah.
It is.
That's so selfish. Like a lot of times, and I think that's what relationship has become in this day and age. I feel like a lot of times, I don't know, I think people just view relationships a lot differently than they used to. And it's so easy to just like say, I'm just not going to do this no more. I'm just not going to do this. And then it's so easy to just find something with somebody else because everybody looking to jump into something with somebody else.
Yeah.
So if I just check out of this one, I'm going to just go find something somewhere else with someone else because you don't make me happy. So let me just go find someone who will make me happy. When in all actuality, nobody's flipping perfect. Nobody's perfect. So you're always going to find something that's going to make you unhappy. You will always find, if you look for it, you will find a reason to check out a relationship.
Oh, absolutely. It was, I don't know what podcast it was, and eventually I got to find the video again, where the brother essentially was saying that a lot of people get together and get married. They don't want to settle with a future they're used to the fan. And there's a distinct difference between the two and how they move and how they act. And did you see that video? Yeah,
I saw it.
And I like how succinctly. Yeah, I like how succinctly he just summed that up, because I think that sometimes some people know, some people don't. It's not gonna, you get people just like, relationships shouldn't be this hard, and I actually do agree. But life is what it is, and so personally, I believe in taking the approach of like, I'm dating you every day, right? So unless you've done something horrendous to hurt my feelings, when you hurt my feelings, I get mean as fuck. I will let you know about it, but I get mean as hell when you hurt my feelings. Like, to me, hurting my feelings, to do it, purposely to hurt me. Yeah. I'm not for that in relationships. I'm not about fighting. Disagreements we can have, right? And things of that nature. But fighting is to subdue and subject someone to your notion or have power over them. I don't do that with people I care about. I don't do that in friendships. That's not the way I move. And so if I'm sitting here and I'm trusting you with me, and this is the way that you're acting because you just want to win, well, baby, we can revert back to it, because at this point in time, you're not my friend, you're not my man, because this makes no sense right here, what's going on right here. But I very much believe in dating every day, right? You come out of that shower and you looking good and you smelling good, I might run away with your towel. What you need it for?
I mean, that's what you did before, right? When you first started. Absolutely. You were so infatuated, right? You were so infatuated.
I believe in this thing, just day by day. I think that sometimes we take too many chunks of time. And so instead of thinking about what I'm going to be doing, we're thinking about, okay, so Monday to Friday, as opposed to Monday to Tuesday. You know what I'm saying? Just that. And so just those bits of period of time. So it's easier for me to manage if I'm there on Tuesday and I want to just hear your voice. I can in that time, you might be busy or whatever, because I respect you. I'm gonna send a little saucy little text or something, like, snap me a picture of your clavicle, show me your ankles. What that ass do? That's right. Throw it. like, as far as the flirting, again, I very much appreciate you speaking about appreciation. Sometimes it's easy to take that for granted, and fundamentally how sometimes, the fundamental difference is allegedly, generally speaking, of men and women as far as what is communicated as love. So, one of the first things that come out of my mouth, I respect you. Like, I respect what you do and how you move in this world and what you have to deal with before you get here. That don't mean, but that doesn't mean XYZ, you know what I'm saying? But I'm not your enemy, right?
Yeah.
And it's just the little things. Even if we're going to sit on a couch, Netflix and chill, just me and my personality. I'm probably going to have my hands in your pants. Why not? I'm just saying. My hands were cold and you were nearby. Don't you want to share the bounty with me? That's rude. I'm just saying.
But that's spice though. But that's spice. And fun fact, I think a lot of people miss that those are the things that, like, I really think a lot of people miss that those are the things that, like, keep relationships going. I'll never forget, I did a live on TikTok. And I don't remember how we got into it, but we started talking about, like, keeping relationships alive and this, that, and the other. And so I started talking about this, like, Jenga game that you can do. And so me and my, box and handcuff and, I got all kinds of weird stuff somewhere still. Like, I was like, yo, so you can have, like, hello, daytime. Hello, how are you? Thank you for joining in. I literally, like, was like, so listen, I found this game on Pinterest that you could do with your boo, right? And, like, you write on your Jenga pieces, okay, like, all these things. It'd be like, okay, take a shot. It'd be like, okay, so lick their nipple, like, give a massage, like this, that, and the other, like, all kinds of stuff. But, like, when you're in relationship with a person, you really have to find different ways. Like, you got to think, you be in relationship with people for years at a time. And I've been married twice. Okay. So I've been with someone for years and years at a time. So you have to find a way to, like, spice it up. You just can't be like every night, like, or every couple of nights be like, yeah, so, like, you know what? Like, turn off the lights. You know what I'm saying? Like, hit your back, pull the covers back or whatever. You got to, like, find a way to spice it up. So I look for ways to spice it up. Otherwise, what happens? People check out a relationship. Why? Because people want something different. They want more. Because why? Because there's always somebody else out there that's be ready to give it. It's always gonna be somebody.
That's why you got to know the person you're with. You got to know what they like, what they dislike, all of those things.
Do the same thing you did.
People also, like,
facts, Morris, I believe.
Yeah, but it's kind of like, I guess somebody need to ask themselves, what is the motivation for trying to be in this?
Wait, say that again. You were broken.
I'm sorry. Uh-oh. Am I still breaking up?
I think you're good right now.
Good.
I agree.
I think some people really need to ask themselves why they want to be in a relationship in the first place. Now, is it because you're lonely, you just need a body there? Is it because you see people around you who have that? Because I'm very much a proponent of make a relationship your own. No matter how weird it might seem from the outside looking in, make that relationship your own. But probably should get an idea of why you want to be in a relationship in the first place, right? I personally would like to fundamentally like the person that I'm with, because I want to shoot the shit with people. I want to be able to talk shit with the one I'm with. You know what I'm saying? Because, there might be a point in time, like when we're both in our hundreds that, our body wears out. We just we can't fuck anymore. We're 101. It ain't the same. I'm just saying.
I ain't gonna lie.
So,
at 101, I want to be able to still do all of it.
I ain't even mad. I'm not even bad. Go on and pull on that take next skin. Go on and do it. Roses.
Full broke hip ass.
Listen, I'm just saying.
It might not be the same. Y'all gotta work it out. It might not be the same, but
listen, y'all might not. But listen, let's make it do what it do. However, we can make it do what it do. That's all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying. Listen, that is all. That is it, and that is all.
I ain't even mad.
I think there's a lot of reasons why people check out, but I do kind of want to hit the surprise topic. I was waiting for our last guest, but I do kind of want to hit this, especially because we have two gentlemen on, and there are a couple of men that are in the comments, I believe. I want to hit.
I'm sorry. My apologies. Please excuse me.
You're good. Which was my surprise topic because I wasn't sure if we were going to have our second one. Okay. Surprise topic. Do you think you're helping the men in your life? So this week, as I said, I got hit with kind of like a lot of videos. I got hit with a lot of videos this week about different topics and whatnot. And this particular topic was, I don't know if you guys have heard or bless you, damn, your nose is still there.
Well,
people said, God bless you. People said, God bless you about your nose. Bless you, damn, your nose is still there. God bless you. So people are worried. They're worried about your nose. They want to make sure your nose is good. So
thank you for the concern. I'm having a hard time over here. I don't know what's going on. Thank you.
Most of them was me. Who is that? Who is Morris Miller? Most of them were you. So I got a lot of videos. One of the videos that I got was about, I don't know if you guys had heard about the Black therapist who was, I saw a little bit about it. I'm not gonna lie. I didn't really like research a whole lot about her. I did look at some of her content, but she was supposedly trying to uplift Black men, and she was telling Black men that they should like get therapy and whatnot. And so I was like, okay, that's awesome. That's amazing. But something she said, the manner in which she did it, got her license pulled and revoked or whatnot. So the video that I was sent, or the content that was in question, was that she was in her pages talking about how she wanted to help men get therapy, but then she posted as, y'all dusty ass men, this and this, da, 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 blah, 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 like all this stuff. And I was like, yo, how you trying to send people to therapy, but you talking about people? I'm so confused. So the question was, do you think that women contribute to, do you think that the fact that men feel like they can't be emotionally vulnerable, they can't express themselves, they can't talk about their feelings and their emotions, is contributed because of the way women deal with them? And then the follow-up question was, and do you think it causes an issue to their mental health? And so that is what I would like to talk about, especially since we have two men on the panel right now. I'd like to talk to men's like mental health and how y'all feel about, like, in this day and age, like women really dealing with y'all, those things. I want to talk about that. And I'm watching y'all. Oh, it is you, Javon? Sheesh. I don't know how to send you a flipping. I don't know how to send you an invite. I don't know how to send you an invite. I can't send you an invite, sir. If I could send you an invite, I would invite you into the box because I wanted you to be here. I wanted you to be here with this conversation. So that is actually who I was trying to have come into the box, me and my shenanigans. So, gentlemen, if you could, because I don't have Javon at this moment, so I'm going to have him on another piece. But if I could get you guys to, and Javon, whatever you have in the comments, I'll go ahead and I'll throw it up. If y'all can, like, I don't know, talk about how y'all feel about this.
I think, first of all, as far as mental health is concerned, everybody is not able to help everybody when it comes to mental health. People in general should have a safe space. Men in particular should have a safe space, but that's not always your spouse, your girlfriend, your significant other. And we need to recognize that, first of all. You need to find somebody that you can talk to, but also someone who can give you some level-headed advice. Some men are attached to women where you tell them what's really going on and how you feel. Their response is, well, you need to man up and quit being a punk. And that's not helpful when you're talking about aspects of mental health. Another thing is that everybody can't be everything to you. You really have to narrow your situation down to, okay, who is the person I trust with this information? Who is this person that's going to give me sound advice for the situations that I got going on in my life? And then still on top of that, I believe prayer more than anything is important. And I know everybody doesn't believe in God or however, whatever you want to call it. But in my mind, you can't begin to get help or get better until you start, taking the burden off of you from a spiritual standpoint. You know what I mean? And everybody's not at the place where they have that capacity. I did 20 years in the military, and I know plenty of people who have, mental health issues, let's just say. And I believe that I've been unscathed through all of that, those 20 years in the military. Don't have any glaring problems in my opinion. Some people may disagree, and that's fine. But seek someone who has your best interests at heart, someone who is able to help you. Everyone is not able to help you. Everyone's not able to help you. And as far as the significant other, you need to know the person. Once again, communication and knowing the person that you're dealing with. Because if you're dealing with somebody who has nothing positive to say about anything and they think you need to man up and quit being a punk, that's not helpful for your mental health.
I agree. Ralph/Ray.
Okay. The way I see it, as far as men, black men, and mental health is concerned, the stigma that's attached to seeking help should be taken away from that. As Ace Hearts was saying about, having to man up. He said he's done 20 years in the military. I did 26. I've been on several combat tours. I'm going to let you know that warriors cry. That you got pressure on you. And especially if you're a leader, you got things that you can't tell somebody else. All you're trying to do is get your people home, right? But then you're crushed with things that are information that's given to you that you can't tell somebody else. Right. You see things happen. You want to take action or not take action in certain situations. And that, if you internalize it and can't talk to someone about it because of an environment that says you're not tough, if you gotta come talk to somebody about it, or if you take a knee and you bow your head and you cry, that's put on men particularly about these certain information, these certain situations where they gotta compartmentalize things and they can't have a release. So there's always I'm not gonna say always, but in the majority, when somebody's speaking out about something that's bothering them, somebody's on the negative side of that that's putting a damper on what you're trying to get out. So when you compartmentalize things, that energy's got to go someplace else. It can be any interpersonal relationship you have. If you don't talk about things, if you can't seek someone to confide in, not necessarily for advice. Some things you just got to get out, release it, and then you can go back to doing what you're doing. But it hasn't been normalized, and it hasn't been normalized enough for a man to be able to speak about their feelings, up or down, left or right. It hasn't been normalized. And then when you see people acting out in certain ways, because all that energy has got no place to go. And then at some point, the seams are going to break, and whatever's going on is going to happen. They're going to have a break. Now, if we're going to the topic about, if a woman either helps or hinders a man, and far as mental health is, it's really hard for a man to tell a woman that they're not good, especially if it's in a realm of you gotta man up.
Yeah.
You know, you don't know what it takes for a guy to get up every day and go do a mundane job. Know he has to support people at home. Don't know if he's the whipping boy at work, getting verbally abused, getting taken advantage of, and then he got to come home and then he can't say, "Hey, babe, check this out. Had a rough day at work." You hear that man up type thing. I've been manning up. I've been getting up every morning and go do what I do to try to keep us whole. And I can't tell you that I ain't good today.
Yeah.
You know, but then that's got to be an even kill. If whatever's going on with your mate, they got to be able to use you as a sounding board. Maybe not hear any type of feedback, but just to listen, not to just respond and be like, "Oh, well, maybe you should do this." Maybe you just need to get stuff off your chest. And as Asa Hearts was saying, you got to find whoever you can talk to. But a lot of men don't want to be a burden to someone else. Don't want to bring them down with all their garbage. So a lot of people internalize. But like I said, their energy's got to go somewhere.
Understandable. Mr. Javon, the one who brought all this to me, because for fun fact,
That's my fault. My fault.
Y'all didn't see the comments, but he was like, most of it was me. I didn't recognize the name, but yes, he was the one that brought me all these dang on topics this week. So I'm listening, sir. I'm listening.
The thing is, like, a lot of women keep forgetting that as men we were basically raised to not show our emotions. So from coming straight out the gate, if you was showing your emotions or if you were crying when you was hurt when you was kid, they'll sit there and they'll tell you, stop being a little punk, stop being a little B, like man up. So when it comes down to us being an adult, we still carry that with us. Now it was it's our job for us to get out of that mindset. But when we do open up to a woman, or like the other gentleman was saying, we'll get, oh, we need to man up. How do you expect us to basically want to come to you about any other thing when every time I come to you, that's your response? Like, it should never be, I'm coming to you like, oh, this going on at work. This is what I'm dealing with internally. This is what I'm going on in the family. I'm looking for you not to basically find a solution, but just to hear me out. Just to be like, you know what? We'll get through this. You'll get through this. Like, I got your back and all that other stuff. A man never wants to hear. No, I'm not even going to say a man. No person, period, wants to hear is, man up, suck it up. You better than this, blah blah blah. Yeah, I'm at the end of the day, I'm going to suck it up. I got to man up, but at the same time, this is where my significant other is supposed to be my support system, my backbone. When I'm not strong at a certain point of time, that's where you step in. But a woman also forgets that we're human. Yeah, we don't show our emotions, but we're human too. We go through a lot of stuff that a woman wouldn't even fathom at the end of the day. We got to go to work. We wake up with the world against us. We go to work with our job against us. We come back home still to the world against us. The last person that we want to have a battle with is our woman. And that's a lot of situations. And a lot of us basically want to be like, oh, we emotionless. Well, y'all help us be that way, because when we come to y'all basically don't acknowledge it. Y'all don't acknowledge our stuff that we go through. And I don't mean to say y'all as in everybody, but majority of them don't. Majority don't care how a man feels at the end of the day. As long as they're happy, they're fine. But it's our job to basically make our woman happy and also find a way to keep ourselves happy, which is not fair.
I would agree. I would absolutely. I would agree, and I know I'm not a man, so I can't speak in the place of a man and say that I know what you feel like in that aspect. I know only way I can say that I kind of can understand it, I guess, is as a mother, you know, a wife type of deal. Because we do as women and as mothers and wives, we do deal with that to some degree. I won't say that it's the same thing. I will never say that it is the same thing. You know, it's always different. I do believe absolutely in both instances, you have to have that support system behind you. I never ever think that I've just never been of that belief that you're supposed to tell your partner that they need to man up and deal with something, because you're supposed to be that support system for them. Because at the end of the day, it's supposed to be you and them against the world. Like, nobody else is supposed to matter but y'all. So I I I think it's horrible that I hear so often from men in this day and age that that's what they deal with. That it's you know, you need to man up. Oh no, don't show no emotion. Like, oh, you crying? Oh, you whining? Oh, you telling me about your day? Like, your day couldn't have been that bad because, and you know, people want to make it seem like, well, my day was worse than yours. Did you this? Did you have to deal with all the kids? Did you this? It doesn't matter. Your day could have been absolutely worse than his day was. The point is that, what's up, Mr. Relationship Coco? The point is that in that moment, that man needed you to sit and hear him out and listen to what he had going on. That person needed you to hear them in that moment. And I think in this day and age, a lot of people don't want to hear other people out, whether it be man or woman. They don't want to hear other people out. They don't want to listen. They don't take the time to just understand. It's not about you in this moment. It's not about the fact that I had a hard day with the kids, or, you know, my job, my boss was acting crazy or whatever. You're coming to me and you're saying to me that it was rough. It was rough today. Today was hard. Today was flipping hard. You know what? Okay. What's going on? I'll talk about me later. But at this moment, knowing that person, we talk about a lot of times in my life, reading the room, knowing how to read the room. When you're in a relation with someone, you need to be able to know how to read the room. When you're dealing with someone, you have to know that, like, okay, this is the space that they're in, and this is what they need from you at this moment. I do absolutely feel like it does suck for men, because I feel like y'all do get it from birth a lot of times. Not every man, but a lot of y'all. And I can absolutely speak to it from a personal level, because, as I said, I've been married twice. And one of the times when my kids went to go visit my ex, he absolutely at one point told my son that he was a man child and he needed to suck it up, and he wasn't able to cry. And when I tell you, that sent me to another level, because while I'm not into the opinion of my son being a crybaby or any of those things, he should be able to share his emotion and share his feelings about what's going on with him. And when you tell him that he needs to suck it up and be a man child and that he can't express his feelings, you're setting him up for bad situations in the future. That's not okay. And I think a lot of times what happens is, as parents, some of us just don't know how to be parents. Some people just don't know how. They don't know what to do, so they just do whatever they think is best. But you have to understand that every single thing that you do with these kids affects them. So when women or men take little boys and they tell them that you need to suck it up, don't be a little bitch, like, you know what, you skint your knee, don't cry about it, this, that, and the other, like, you're good, be tough, be strong, that's not fair, because you're putting them in a bad space. And you don't understand that you're building something within them that now they have to fight off from childhood. And then when they get to adulthood, when they get to like high school, when they get to middle school, when they get to adulthood, and everybody keeps telling them that you're a man, you're supposed to be the supporter, you're supposed to be the provider, you're supposed to be this, you're supposed to be that. It does. I feel like, fun fact, and that kind of goes back to the conversation earlier about men and women being equal. I'm not going to lie. I do feel like men, the world is put on their shoulders. Because why? Because in society's aspect and thoughts, men are supposed to be providers, right? So that's your job. So when you're not a provider and when you don't do what you're supposed to do, you fucked up. You did your job. So now they have that. Now you got to deal with that. Not only do you have to deal with what your family told you, your teachers told you, your girlfriends told you, your wife then told you, society then told you. Now you got you couldn't even provide for your family. You fucked up. Doesn't matter that jobs are not out there or whatever. Doesn't matter that it might not be your issue. It might not be your fault. You could be out there walking the streets for hours and hours and hours. You just fucked up because you were a man and you didn't do your job. So I absolutely think that it does suck for men. I think that y'all do have it harder in that sense. I think that women have it hard. I'm not saying we don't. I'm absolutely not saying we don't. We do. We have our own issues that we deal with, but I'm not going to deal with that because that's not what we're talking about in this moment. We're talking about what men have to deal with in this moment. And to answer your question, and we kind of spoke on it, absolutely. I definitely do think that when someone is in your life and they're demeaning you, they're telling you that you're not doing a good job, they're not listening, it absolutely plays a part in your mental health. Absolutely. 1000%. When you have someone that isn't there for you when you need them to be, and you have nowhere else to go, you have no other outlet, absolutely. That absolutely plays a part in your mental health. I'm going to stop running my mouth because we're getting short on time and I don't want to go too far past. So I'm going to roll it over to Joy, Miss Lady, because I could talk forever. I can.
Likewise. No, I mean, you were saying it's silly to listen to.
You're going in and out again, lady.
Am I breaking up again? Is it better?
Yep, you're bad. Breaking up. After you sneeze, it's been bad.
You know what? Shut up. You know what? Shut the hell up.
You about to get taken off. You about to get taken off the list. Keep playing.
Shut up.
I'm sorry. I apologize.
Nah, you fine. That's fine. Is it better? Can you hear me any better? Or is it still breaking up?
No, I can hear you better. I'm not sure about anybody else, but I can hear you better.
Okay. I come back to this, like my son, I started at college and my son was about 5 or 6. And now my son, now it sounded weird on this end. Am I sounding bad to y'all or what's going on?
You're good.
You're good.
Okay. So again, my son was about 5 or 6 while I was in school. And a young woman I've known her for 20 years. She's a really good friend of mine now. But at the time, I just met her and whatnot. Awesome. And she was going through something with someone that she was dealing with. And she was just like, I'm not worried about it. I'm not worried about him because, men don't feel the same way that women do. And I was like, what? I think at the time I told her that was one of the dumbest things I've ever heard because I am raising a boy who's going to be a young man. And let me tell you something. He cries when he's hungry. He cries when he's sad. He cries when he needs comfort. He does all these things that, little girl children do. What are you talking about? Right? I mean, we're all, for the most part, all of us have been given emotions, so it makes no sense to me not to emote when you need to, right? I think that a lot of issues that we have in this world where it is men-driven in a lot of venues would actually be much more placid if it was normalized that, if you're having a bad fucking day or something has happened, like, why are you here at work if your parent just died? Like, you don't need to work through that, my guy, to prove that you're a man. I don't understand why so many rites of passage, men and women, why primarily with men, are centered around pain and not emoting when you are put through that pain. That's weird to me. You know what I'm saying? Like a lot of hazing rituals, whether it be work, school, or whatever it is. And you sit up there and you hurt these individuals or you damage these individuals in this way that they cannot emote when they've been hurt and expect them to move in a world in which you're still dealing with emotional beings. Men, women, children, all these things. It's weird, right? And it makes me think about like the beginning or the cause of it to a certain degree. Like, I think that we count out sociopaths and psychopaths too often. I'm like, I think there's a lot of them that put a lot of policies and codicils and laws in effect. That they're lacking in the way that they feel remote to other people. So everybody needs to come to line with it. It's weird, is all I'm saying. As far as the weight of the world on men, wouldn't want it in the vein in the way that y'all have it. Because at least on my end, and I'm not saying for every woman, I can say what the fuck I want, and if I got a tear coming down my eye, you might get somebody like, you need to woman up with this, that, and the other. Fuck you, why I got tears coming straight down my face. I'm a sensitive cancer, right? I'm a sensitive one. That's how we gonna play this. but I can do that. And that's not something that's really I've seen given and normalized in a lot of, not all, but a lot of cultures. It's really weird how that is like a connecting factor. You can have a whole ass different culture and be able to communicate that men are not supposed to cry about something. Like, didn't he just, like, I think, are we making fun of a particular gentleman who was at a press conference after something had happened? I was like, what? My guy, the fuck you here for?
The one who
yeah, like
everything, he like his like wife had died, and he like his kid was in a car crash or something, and
yeah,
it was like,
and I was
why
like,
are you even here?
And so to a certain degree, I'm kind of like, I was like, this got to be a lie. Like this, like I really felt, I'm like, is this a skit? Like, are y'all fucking with me? Like, what? Huh? Like this is the one day you decided I can't take this day off. Ain't nothing going on in this world that you can't take a day off as far as your family is concerned. Fuck it. Fuck the world. I'm so sorry. Just like fuck that little 2-year-old as far as he's concerned. Fuck the world. Okay? Huh? it's a whole thing, bro.
Maurice, you missed it. Maurice said he would kick it. He said he would kick it.
He said everybody can get it.
Everybody can
he said everybody can get it, including 2-year-old. We were like, what the heck?
Roll it with
the 2-year-old too? Damn.
2-year-old. What's funny? What makes it even funny? His brother ain't changed. He was sitting there like,
no, he's like, nah, the 2-year-old can still get it. He could get it.
He's like, I did say that.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's like, I did say that, and I meant it. Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
So it's just, I mean, the yin and yang of it all, and the battle of it, like that would break my heart if somebody that I was speaking to, that whose opinion that I cared about, whether it's romantic or not, I'm just like, is it okay? So first of all, I think that people should come in this space kind of like, you know what, I got to get some shit off my chest. Yeah. Is it okay if I do that? Because they might not be in the space to hear it, right?
Yeah.
And then they're like, after hearing me, they're kind of like, bitch, you need to woman up. The fuck you just say to me? The hell? After all that. But then there are some persons, and not to give excuses, but then just context, there are some persons that maybe don't do well with emotion, right? So they want to fix it. They want to fix it so that you feel better. Or they want to fix it or go after whatever the problem is or who are the persons are that cause you problems. Because it's like, listening to you and maybe holding you if you cry, this, that, and the other. It's kind of like, they're there. And they're not trying to be mean. They just don't do well with emotion. They're kind of like, bet, but I can fix this shit. Who you need done in? What do we need to do? Does money need to be had? They want to fix it in that cost, and that's not what you need with that miscommunication. But yeah, look, the more I learn about what some of y'all men have to deal with just with y'all anatomy, I'm so sorry. Like, I mean, we women go through things, but I'm still stuck on the fact that like y'all ball sacks get stuck against y'all legs when y'all trying to ball.
We have 3 minutes left, and I'm
just saying, like that seems like a problem. I mean, like zipping that up with, like, I'm like,
yes.
I'm just saying.
I just want to say before we go.
I want to say to the parents out there. I want to say to the parents out there, all kids don't handle stuff the same. And as a parent, I think that's where it starts with the being able to share your emotions and your feelings. All your kids ain't gonna be the same. Some kids, they don't care. They're gonna run through some fire. They're gonna run through a brick wall, and they'll be fine. They may need counseling later, but they'll be fine. Whereas other kids need to sit down and tell you, hey, this thing happened to me and I feel this way. You have to know who your child is and know how to handle that for everybody on the spectrum. You can't just put them all into one bunch, especially with boys, and say, hey, get up, quit crying, quit acting like that. You got to handle each and every one as an individual.
Absolutely, especially so they don't become that 2-year-old that gets mollywopped by him.
Right, that part.
Right.
Unfortunately, we are coming to a close, and I'm not going to throw everybody's names up there, but I'm going to always ask at the end of the night, Miss Joy, how can we find you?
You can find me over on TikTok. It's under Know Your Nature, and it's know and then underscore your, just the UR underscore the nature. Over on TikTok.
Go ahead. You good? That's it? That's all?
Oh, that's the only place I'm at. I'm minding my business, just chilling there. Mm-hmm.
Mr. Ace Hearts, do you remember, or do I have to bring it up?
No, you don't have to bring it up. It's a Heartfelt Truth Podcast over on Instagram.
Okay. Mr. Ray Ralph.
I'm on TikTok as Black Hawk 96. That's it. That's where I'm at.
Mr. McLovin, Javon, do you want people to find you, or you don't want people to find you? If you don't, you ain't got to say nothing at all. But
you can find me on TikTok at.
Robin?
They can find me. I'm not hard to find.
You didn't even say where they can find you.
I said I ain't hard to find. You can find me on. I'm about to say it.
Say it again.
I got
Say
stuck.
it again.
Okay.
Oh,
you
so
can
you gotta
find me
say
on
it
TikTok
again.
at Javon. Can you hear me?
So every time you say it, I
Can you
say.
hear me?
Every time you get stuck, I say something. That's why it's like that. So where can we find you?
I'm asking.
They don't want us to know.
You can find me on TikTok at Javon. Huh?
Just go. But he's gone. His device has got. He is on TikTok. I want to say he's under someone's mother's son or something like that. I can place it back in the live later. If y'all want to find him, he's hilarious. Fun fact: I don't think he posts any content right now, but I keep trying to convince him to because he is absolutely hilarious. But y'all know me. Y'all know where y'all can really find me because what runs my brain?
TikTok.
TikTok.
Go ahead.
So you can find me. Yes. Yes. So you can find me on TikTok as LadyJ1111. I'm on Instagram as LadyMan2008. I'm on my personal Facebook page is JahMeMan, JahMeMann. You can find me. I'm also on Stitch. I think on Stitch I'm LadyJ_1111. I'm on YouTube as LadyJ. Listen, I'm all over the place. It cut me out. They hating. Oh, dang, Javon, they hating on you. But you can find me on all of those things. I super appreciate all of you that joined us tonight. I hope that you guys got something from this. Hope that y'all enjoyed it. Hopefully, we will see you guys next week. Not sure exactly what next week's show will be about, but I am planning. So y'all know, I think I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna jump on TikTok because I ain't been on all day. So for those of y'all that want to go join for some more conversation or whatnot, Lady J about to go jump on TikTok, get on the live, go talk on there for a little bit. We can kind of talk about this. We can talk about some other stuff. We get into some other things, laugh, joke, have a good time. But that's what we could do. Thank y'all so much for joining us on another night, another Friday night. Y'all could have been anywhere in the world, but thank y'all for joining us. I hope y'all have a good night, and we see y'all on the next one. Good night, y'all. Have a good night. Close your eyes if you want to. You've seen it. Oh, it's in the text, and it'll always be there. So Javon has posted his where you can find him. It's in the text if y'all want to go find him. Thank y'all so much. Have a good night.